In his 68th year, but the fire and passion still abound as he barks his orders across the Sussex Downs. He started training over 40 years ago, and he's turned out now nearly 2,000 winners. But Captain Ryan Price is as enthusiastic and optimistic as the day he started. As he rides his beloved Finden gallops, he still dreams dreams. He admits he won't die happy.
For the Lincoln, he goes for Black Minstrel and Gibbon each way. Don't forget, avoid those low numbers, the draw.
Hold him up, boy, hold him up.
The Wizard of Finden may be in his 68th year, but the fire and passion still abound as he barks his orders across the Sussex Downs. He started training over 40 years ago, and he's turned out now nearly 2,000 winners. But Captain Ryan Price is as enthusiastic and optimistic as the day he started. As he rides his beloved Finden gallops, he still dreams dreams. He admits he won't die happy until he has won racing's most coveted prize, the Derby.
Oh, I'd be an awful liar if I said otherwise. Of course it is. Mike, what the hell's one been in the game for if one's not ambitious? Of course, I mean, I just dream about it. Yes.
He's won the Oaks, he's won the St Leger, and last year he won a little matter of £204,235 in prize money. But he has a strong belief that 1980 could be the year. His team of 3-year-olds is the strongest he's ever assembled, and he fairly glows with pride as he inspects their work on the gallops. So is he excited about the new season.
I wouldn't be in the bloody game if I wouldn't, would I? Hey, Jesus, no, of course I'm looking forward to it. I've been waiting all the winter for it. Of course.
This time last year when you and I were talking, there was a rumour that you were going to retire. It didn't happen, did it?
No, I got rather a lot of nice 2-year-olds last year, you know, and I got a lot of nice ones this one, so I don't know when it's going to happen.
Do you reckon this is the best lot of 3-year-olds you've had?
Oh, without a doubt. Oh, there's no two ways about that. Guaranteed. Yes.
Can we have a look at them in detail? Who do you think is your best?
Oh, that would be an awful question to answer, really. I mean, it just depends how they haven't really got into top gear yet, you know. It just depends which is really trained on from 2 to 3, do you know? Oh, yes. But there's some damn nice horses.
We just had a look at 1 or 2 on the gallops, and I know your favourite is Romeo Romani.
I suppose that's probably a true statement. He's a lovely horse, isn't he? What?
What are you aiming him for?
He'll go for the Guineas. He'll go for the Guineas. He's out of a Herbaget mare. There's no reason why he shouldn't stay. I think he could be a Derby horse. He's a lovely balanced horse, too, and a lovely lazy horse. Yes.
What about Viringo and Levinsky?
Well, they're nice horses, aren't they? Toppers. Oh, I don't know. I might end up starting 5 in the Guineas.
While the American-bred Romeo Romani is obviously the apple of the captain's eye, there is plainly a whole host of top-class thoroughbreds at Finden, as our cameras testified. Heading the second string were 2 of the fastest horses in the stable, Viringo and Levinsky, both live contenders for the Guineas. The captain has always had a good eye for a filly too, and without doubt his best chance of winning another Fillies Classic rests with Schweppes Forever. And later in the season, watch out for this attractive little fellow called Lautrec, his best 2-year-old at the moment, and according to the captain, poetry in motion. But as he casts his expert eye over his 92 horses, his mind keeps returning to the Derby as he spots yet another possible contender.
Bozovici's nice horse, he could be the Derby horse. And I also have another nice horse who was a bit unlucky at the back end of last season. He was wrong when he ran in the Mill Reef, do you know? He's out of a mare that won the French 1000, and I like him a lot.
Can you remember his name?
He's by Rydan.
Can't remember his name.
That's
what I mean, you've got too many horses.
It isn't so. It's getting old and decrepit. That's what's happening. Don't be silly. Senile. But still no good horse when I see one. Yeah.
You might just let on go.
Field reporting. Well, staying with racing, as I mentioned earlier, this Saturday sees the running of the Grand National at Aintree. With me now to preview the race is John Tyrrell, who last week gave us a very nicely priced midweek winner, Concert Hall, at 11-2, but like so many other people, was unable to find the winner of Saturday's Lincoln. His selection for that race, Black Minstrel, could only finish fourth. But John, turning to the National, I have to say, I think that it's something surely of a tipster's nightmare, isn't it?
Well, especially a nightmare for me, David. I'd never backed or tipped the winner of the Grand National since Lovely Cottage won in 1946, so I must say I'm sticking my neck out here, but we'll have a go anyway. I'm taking two against the field, and my first one is Jer. He's only small, but he jumps like a cat. He's never fallen, and he's got good finishing speed. He's being a son of the Derby winner Seabird. He's been running well all season, and never better than in the William Hill Great Yorkshire Chase back in January.
And we've now got a chance to see that race.
But they have one to go, and it's Jer in the lead as they come now towards his final fence. And Current Gold now coming with a run on the outside. Still second is Tommy Joe. This is the last fence. Jer over in the lead. Tommy Joe over second. Current Gold over third. Rubstick, but as they come now inside the last 100 yards, it's Jer going away from Tommy Joe and Current Gold. They come up towards the line. Jer wins the William Hill Yorkshire Handicap Chase. Current Gold finishes second. Tommy Joe over in third. Then comes Rubstick. Ran a good race to finish fourth ahead of Kaz. Another captain.
John, there we are then. So Joe wins. Rubstick, last year's winner, was only fourth. Is there any chance at all that he can reverse those placings?
Well, possibly, although he's only £3 better off an 8 lengths beating on that occasion. But of course, Rubstick's preparation has just been for this one race. It's been very, very well timed. I'm sure he's going to improve on that running, and he's going to be thereabouts on Saturday. Whether he can win again and become another dual Grand National winner, I'm not so sure about that.
All right. What about your other leading fancies then for this very difficult race?
Well, I wouldn't put you off Zongolero, second last year. The same goes for Rough and Tumble, also in the frame last year. He's a great plodder. Wagner's got a great chance again on last year's running. But the one I really fancy is Man Alive. He'll probably be top weight, but he's a versatile grey, so you can pick him out nice and easily. He's won 16 races on the flat, over hurdles and over fences. He's earned his 11 stone 4 pounds, and I really fancy him at 16-1.
So you're going then for Jer and Man Alive. But can I ask you what you think about Coolish Hall?
Well, I toyed with Coolish Hall because, you know, he's got a great track record. I think he was in the frame. He was fourth the year before last. He fell when going extremely well in last year's race. On this year's form, I must say you couldn't fancy him. But on the other hand, he's owned, trained and ridden by a great amateur, Broderick Munro Wilson. I wish them great luck. They're 50-1 shots, but honestly, not for me.
The reason why I mention that, of course, is that you probably, like many other people, know that there is a gentleman, a punter here in Southampton, indeed, who stands to win nearly £100,000 if Coolish Hall comes in on Saturday, because he is the final leg of a 4-horse accumulator. He's starting off with Bootlaces, one of your tips, and I know that Ladbrokes are desperately trying to get hold of this gentleman. So, sir, if you happen to be watching tonight, get in touch with your nearest Ladbrokes office. They want to hear from you and take you to Aintree to see Coolish Hall. Finally, John, just before you go, can I ask you about a midweek winner, because it's sadly your last one?
Yes, indeed it is, because we're very busy this season, of course, doing a lot of midweek flat racing. We've cut down the number of days that we are doing good quality stuff, doing all 5 classic races exclusively on ITV, including the Derby. And my midweek winner this week is Bartra in the 4:15 at Stockton on Thursday.
All right, John,
and
thanks.
I hope I can go out in a winner.
So do I. I was just going to say that. Hope you leave us on a winning note. John Tyrrell, thank you very much indeed. There we are. Just to confirm then, John Tyrrell's selections. He goes for Jer and Man Alive in the Sun Grand National at Aintree on Saturday. And as he's just said, his last midweek winner, and we hope a winning one, is Bartra in the 4:15 at Stockton on Thursday. And that's it. Sadly, no time for snooker this week, but there will be a session between Terry Griffiths, the world champion, and Fred next week, and also more racing with Mike Field. But for the moment, we go back now to Cliff.
Sad about the snooker. After the break, welcome to 2 newcomers, one here on Day by Day and the other in Canterbury. Southsport.
Welcome to you on Southsport tonight, the classic English sporting mix with football, cricket and racing. Plus your chance to win one of these. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but would you believe 25 copies of Kevin Keegan's new book in a bumper Southsport competition. We open, in fact, with football, Saturday's game at Fratton Park, Portsmouth versus Peterborough, a match vital to Pompey's fading hopes of gaining promotion from the 4th Division. Winger Alan Rogers typified Portsmouth's approach to a game they had to win to keep their promotion hopes alive. The first of the goals wasn't long coming. A free kick from Steve Bryant, a shot from Terry Brisley, and the ball went in off defender Steve Collins, and that was after only 9 minutes. It was just the start that a crowd of more than 15,000 hoped for. The goal inspired Portsmouth, and the fans had to wait only another 5 minutes for a second. Again, a free kick from Bryant. Again, Brisley tried a shot. It was blocked, but the rebound fell just right for Jeff Hemmerman to score, and the crowd loved it. Pompey kept up the good work in the second half, forcing Peterborough to concede another own goal, and that made it 3-0. But Portsmouth's fourth goal was their best. Another long ball into the crowded Peterborough penalty area, a moment or two of uncertainty as the ball bounced from one head to another, but finally it dropped to the feet of Alan Rogers, who fired a tremendous shot past the goalkeeper. That was it, 4-0 to Portsmouth. And that result means this is now the situation at the top of the 4th Division. Huddersfield and Walsall are already promoted. Bradford are 3rd with 1 match left, away at Peterborough. Newport 4th have 2 games to play. Portsmouth are 5th, and they need to win their last game at Northampton on Saturday and hope for a slip by either Bradford or Newport. They've a superior goal difference to both. And still with football, don't forget that Kevin Keegan book competition at the end of Southsport. Well, now racing, and this week sees 2 classic races at Newmarket. The 1,000 guineas on Thursday, the 2,000 guineas on Saturday. Both races exclusive to ITV. Well, John Tyrrell's with us now to preview both races, and in particular to answer the question, can the American jockey Steve Cawthon repeat last year's triumph in the 2,000 guineas? His winning mount last May was Tap on Wood.
Contest at the moment up front. Just behind them is Leafard's Wish coming strongly with Young Generation, but it's Chris and Tap on Wood coming to the distance. Tap on Wood on the near side of Chris, and here comes Young Generation on the near side. Quattro back and forth, but it's Tap on Wood being pressed up by Young Generation, and racing up towards the line. It's Tap on Wood and Young Generation close home. Steve Cawthon wins the guineas on Tap on Wood.
Yes, the American Steve Cawthon winning last year's 2,000 guineas on Tap on Wood. Well, Cawthon's mount in this year's race on Saturday will be the unbeaten St Jonathan, a horse capable of really staggering acceleration. Take a look at this finish at Thirsk just over a week ago.
Past the quarter of a mile pole. St Jonathan, in fact, over on the inside, has got to be asked to go about his work now. Edward Hyde just showing him the whip as they come down towards the distance, but it's St Jonathan stretching out now in fine style. Atlantic City looks held, Anglepoise as well, Sun and Gold not relishing the ground, and racing up towards the line. It's a pretty impressive trial by St Jonathan at the line, the easy winner.
Well, John Tyrrell, Eddie Hyde riding there, of course, but I'm wondering if that kind of finishing power is going to win this year's 2,000 guineas for St Jonathan and Steve Cawthon.
I don't think so, Fred, actually, because the real flaw in that race was that he wasn't really tested in high-class company. As Sun and Gold, the only other decent horse in the race to finish second, it would have been a different story. But I think even Barry Hills, who's backing to win £93,500, would have to admit that wasn't a high-class trial as far as company is concerned. So he's not for me, I'm afraid.
What about this hot favourite, the $1 million colt Uraev?
Well, to be honest with you, I like him even less, because all the Bhutan horses, Francois Bhutan trains them, of course, have been running badly recently. They ran badly in France yesterday in the French 2,000 guineas. He's won both his races very easily against very, very poor opposition. And Viterek, who finished second to him last time out, finished fourth in a very poor event after that at Maison Lafitte. So I'm afraid at 5-4, I think he's very bad value.
So who's going to win the 2,000 guineas?
Well, I could fancy Turnavoss, who is certainly going to run a very good race, I think, a nice genuine bet, bound to be in the frame, but for me not quite quick enough. Final Straw won the Greenham, but the one for me is in fact Posse, who finished third in the Greenham. Ran a remarkable race for a very inexperienced horse. He was tucked in behind early on, accelerated quite brilliantly in the last 2.5 furlongs. When Pat Eddery, the jockey, got out the stick, he swerved in towards the field. He had to steady him up and quicken again, and he did. And he very nearly beat Monteverde, the hot favourite, for second place. I think he's going to win. My each-way selection.
Lovely. So John's tip then for the 2,000 guineas is Posse, P-O-S-S-E. Well, now what about the Fillies Classic, the 1,000 guineas on Thursday? Both the favourite and the second favourite, in fact, come from the Henry Cecil stable. Now, the champion jockey, Joe Mercer, has chosen to ride the favourite, Saison, leaving Pat Eddery to ride the second favourite, Evita. I must say, I fancy Evita, in the nicest possible sense, of course. And this was Evita, fourth off the fence, winning the Ladbroke Nell Gwyn Stakes at Newmarket just about a couple of weeks ago.
as they race past the bushes and down into the dip, and Mother Earth now beginning to look a real danger on the extreme outside. As Sharp Custom weakens away very quickly, it's Mother Earth and Evita, the two leaders, and VL's got an awful lot of work to do if she's to close on them, but Wadawee is closing his battle wind and closing fast. Just behind this one comes Luck of the Draw, but racing up towards the line, Evita is going to win it. Coming up close home, Evita wins the Nelgwyn Stakes up the line. Evita the winner.
Evita winning well there at Newmarket, but I wonder, John, can she win the 1,000 guineas on Thursday?
Who knows?